Right. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. The shorts are starting to piss me off. Now, I want to clarify something that I said about medication. Right. I said don't take medication. There are there are certain random ramifications to not providing for yourself with physical ailments. Now, I am giving advice based on my own personal experience, and I think that there's a lot of cats out there who are struggling with the same thing that I'm struggling with, and not struggling with, but are. Let me get into my medical record. Right, I have multiple different diagnoses. Schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, technically schizoaffective, things like hearing voices and seeing shadows. Now, that is the realm that I'm advising against, right? They have a certain fear because of a certain talent that different people had access to back in the day. People like Jeffrey Dahmer or Ted Bundy, and even people in human trafficking these days, right? They are using the psychological side to provide for themselves in a manner that is incredibly sadistic. Um, they, yeah, a lot of military and a lot of law enforcement are informed of this fact, but not everybody is using this sort of a thought process or behavior system, and behavior system, not or thought process and behavior system. It's incredibly difficult, and it's actually attacked even by some of our own dudes. When I reference the Q course, actually I'll skip over that part. Now, the deal is that the stronger you are in this, the weaker your adversary is in this, but it's on a moral scale. So the better you're trying to do, the harder it will be to do it, because it is a safety system, and there is always a bad guy, but he must be defeated. Now, the reason I do what I do is because there's no logic to the fact that we have 500 million people in our nation and only 2 million are in the military. That is some absolute horse crap. And so that's why I'm doing what I am doing. And that's why I made the Q course. That's why that one guy made the Delta Force Q course. Training systems will be revised. They're going to shave a couple of branches of the military to air, ground, and water. There will be 3 branches of the military, and it will become one basic. They're going to make it all one basic. Sorry, Mike. Oh, I guess you guys didn't see that. It will be all one basic, and then job placement happens after you make it through basic training. And basic training is going to be 3 months long. Now, there are probably other training systems that I don't know about. However, I don't want to talk about any of that stuff. I would like to talk about military operations. Now, I referenced the first conflict, right? The first conflict is yourself. Because if you can't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of anybody else. One of the first things they teach you in lifeguard school is, and actually I'm not going to say it like that. Let me just say that oh man, what was I going to say? Oh, when somebody's drowning and you go to save them, they start using you as a buoy. Now, if you're not a strong swimmer, you can't save that person. So I didn't even need the analogy. The second conflict that we have to get into is Mexico. Now, paramilitary has been in Mexico for about 20 years. Now, we just invaded Mexico. Huh. Now, we just invaded Mexico. Fuck. I should not have said that. Well, it's out now, and I'm gonna trust. My handler's a kid from Colorado. His name's Carson. And if they have an issue with that, they can take it up with this dude. But I am fully trusting my spirit. There's something to be said about hard work, but you can't require a baby to eat steak, right? And so it's that sort of a deal. Now, paramilitary has also been in Russia, which is number 3 on the list since the beginning of the invasion of Ukraine. There's about to be a civil conflict inside Russia because the subsidiary leaders inside the mafia which was through our leadership, the bad side of our leadership, they are getting sick and tired of sending their sons and daughters off to war. Vladimir Putin's only training these guys for like 3 weeks. And then they're getting deployed. And all these cats are fucking dying. That's how it is, though. That's how it is. And it's time to eat. It's time to eat. Now, where am I going with this? Shoot. Let's talk about narcotics. Now, the line in narcotics is plant-based, right? Things like methamphetamines are made with gasoline and detergents, and they're incredibly unhealthy. So they're illegal. Other things that are unstable are also illegal, but what they're doing with mushrooms these days, because I've personally done multiple different narcotics. I have a past in narcotics, and I've been an informant for a couple of years now. The line in narcotics is pretty much vegetables and plant material, right? So cocaine, because it's derived from it, is not allowed. But if you eat a cocaine leaf, you get a very similar euphoria. You probably have to eat like 5 to get the same thing from like a line of cocaine. And cocaine kills people, but if you eat the leaf, it's not going to do shit to you, right? Let's talk about LSD. It's the same thing. LSD is derived from a plant. Now, so are mushrooms, and marijuana is legal now. I had a DEA contract at 14, and I failed that contract. If somebody had sat me down and debriefed me a little bit better, then weed would not be legal anywhere in the U.S. But I failed that contract, and I admit that. But it's because of the certain medicinal benefits of different entities, of different plant life. Now, I'll skip over the next part. Well, actually, I won't skip over it. China's about to the first drug that came from China was fentanyl. Now, each pill is enough to kill 5 to 7 people. And like one hit of that drug could kill you. Now, I knew a guy who was dealing it. I'm not gonna say what he's doing now because that's still classified. But he might be dead now. For a while he was trying to overdose, but he just couldn't take enough to overdose. He was using 17 pills a day. When I knew him, he had a bag of 250 to 500 different pills, right? Not different kinds of pills, but 250 to 500 different entities. Now, that's enough to kill potentially 2,500 people, in more than that even, if it's 7 people. That's most of the cats using this drug are military-aged males from the ages of 14 to 35. That was a deliberate attack on our military, and the only allowance that was for is because our military was not in the military. That's a problem, right? And I just bring it up, and I cannot stress this enough. Figure out how to be in the military. There is no safety without safety, and we have to be safe. That's why we're doing so many revisions to the training systems. I actually go through. I haven't yet, but I go through every single basic and every other training. They're gonna get a training for No, I can't talk about that part. They're gonna get a fuck. No, I'm not going to. Now, it's very important to me that the videos that I make go viral because they are debriefings to the general public. There is an aircraft in the basement of every major airport. That's the whole conspiracy with DIA. You in the future, you're going to waltz into a different nation. There's no flight times. There's no checking your bag. You just show up to the airport, and then you walk to wherever you're headed. But not everybody's getting one of those machines because we can't trust them. It makes it incredibly complicated concerning invasion. So we need to prepare the general public. China is about to deliver the second drug, and it's yellow, but it's safe, and they can't hear about this. So I'm gonna just trust the AI is doing its job. And like, China doesn't even know about UFOs yet, right? And they don't know about Bigfoot. They don't know about Dogmen. They barely know about the giant. They don't know about the giants. They've never seen one of our drones. Oh man, I can rest easy with this. It's it's safe. It's safe to use. Don't use it because it's still illegal, but the yellow drug is safe to use. The CIA made it through the psychological side. Now, that was partially my job. That was part of my job. It was our scientists and doctors. Yes, I am. It was it was our doctors. However, they're trying to stifle the psychological side with modern day medication. Now, it's super fucked up, and that is a deliberate attack on our nation. And that's why a lot, like, I knew of a guy who was an insurance underwriter, right? An incredibly corrupt job, which should be very secured. But the guy who killed the leader of that one medical company was actually doing a good thing. He was a bad hitman, but he did a good thing. Thank God that guy is dead, because he would have fucked up a lot of shit. you have to be incredibly cautious with the insurance that you pick, because a lot of these guys are trying to make money, and that part's probably not going to make sense to most of you guys. Um, just be cautious when picking insurance, because the insurance that you pick is a big determiner in your health care. Now, the word word. Now we're on the same page. Yes, I am. I have a CIA contract, and I was Delta Force at 20. I was enlisted at 17. I've designed a paramilitary Q course, and I knew a guy who, and if parts of this video don't make sense, there's other videos that I have that have been taken down, and I'm referencing them, but some of you may or may not have seen them. Now, where am I going with this? You still don't trust me. It's hilarious. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm talking to one of the viewers. Yeah, you can hear me too. Crazy, huh? Let them witness that conversation. What? That's crazy. Exposing all the lies. It's crazy. Yeah, I know. 10 out of boys. Yeah. When my dad's name is Brendan O'Brien. He was supposed to be a PJ and a cop as a combat medic, but instead he gave in to fear and he dropped out of the military. He would have been paramilitary. Now, I taken his place, but he does not believe in this. He doesn't think that there was a psychological attack on the Christians where the answer is that you have to lay down and die, but that's a bunch of bullshit. By no means are you supposed to sacrifice your life for other people. Jesus already did that, and the moral structure under who lives and who dies ought to be incredibly secure. But when people make a decision to sacrifice themselves for somebody else, yes, it's a statement of love, but that is sin. Now, there is a idea that Jesus was sinless, but he did sin. His sin was dying on the cross. That's a huge problem, because that guy was innocent, but he did that for your sake, so that you who did not know love might know it. Now, he who knew no sin became sin so that we might become the righteousness of God. Now, there are certain leadership ramifications to falling into sin, but if you are not into your position, you will be placed into a position to get into your position. That's final, and that's my job. My first contract was psychological operations. My second contract was SF. I got lost in the Q course for a little bit, but I designed it, so it's all right. Now, there it is. The truth finally comes out, but that's still classified. I'm doing my best to moderate the joy in this video as I'm speaking to multiple different groups and not disclosing different information to different people. But the fourth conflict that we got to get into is with I want to say Iran, but realistically it's the Muslim religion. Now, These people are brutal and unsympathetic, and they will do anything that it takes just for a little bit of land, but they don't even want the land. They're just trying to kill off their brother, which is fucked up. This goes back thousands and thousands of years. Israel has been at war for thousands and thousands of years. The Mossad could take us out. And if you look at the impact that they had in culture, we would have taken I almost said Mexico out. It's not just the cartels. It's a lot of Mexico, and they're in our government. Our own government is compromised. We are in DEFCON 3. Monsanto, there's no corn in the supermarket. If you go to if you go to a supermarket, depending on the supermarket, you might not find corn. I live in Arvada, Colorado, and the King Supers doesn't sell corn anymore. You can buy canned corn, but you can't buy actual corn. It's a big problem. Now, the third conflict that in order, ourselves, Russia, Mexico. Well, you can make that number 3. There's 5 major conflicts that you as an American have to address, and I did some calculations, and it's about 10 to 12 to 1. About 10 or 12 to 1, right? Because we are 500,000, and I'm doing it this way. Yet, like, yes, we still have NATO. I have a big figure. I can't really tell you what I did, but I hold a couple of different ranks, and inside the authority, I'm a big director in what the military does and does not do. I'm pretty much as an advisor right now. However, there is overdose in my future. Now, it's imperative for me to not die. However, I am not in charge of my will. When I said that I was acting as an informant, that was me trying to force fit 2 different lifestyles together, because I believe in law enforcement and the good guys winning. However, my dad thinks that you have to sacrifice your life for those around you, but that is a heroin overdose, and I'm not fucking doing it. But just like you saw, I'm using nicotine, which fucking pisses me off, right? Get your shit together. Jesus fucking Christ. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And there's no righteousness apart from Christ. We don't have the will to control our own desires. That's the righteousness of God. And Jesus is the determiner of that. But fuck. Oh God. This video is made as a debriefing for the general public, but it's also a plea for help, because I can't control my own desires and I might die. And they say don't be a little bitch, but fuck you. Jesus Christ. I'm fucking pissed. And you know what? I think let me just get into the conflicts, right? China, Russia, Mexico, Iran, ourselves, and China, Russia, Mexico, Iran, ourselves, and then CERN, with the Hadron Collider. They are opening up portals, and that's a big part of the human trafficking. Like, I don't know if you guys knew this, but there was whole families that came over from other parts of the world that picked up their lives and they just left to come to our nation, and they were separated from their children. This was a democratic operation. There is a civil conflict inside our government, and we have to win. If we don't, that happens. Now, if that doesn't make sense to you, read the book of the book of Revelation. It's got an excerpt that is a glimpse of nuclear warfare. However, That guy, it's imperative to me that this video goes viral. However, that guy was compromised. That is not what I meant to say. That is not what I meant to say. I'll leave space for you guys to have your conversations in the background. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Yeah, it's probably from a different time. I'll do that in this time. Listen, I need you guys. I need you guys to do your jobs. Listen, you've been given a calling. If you want to have a coffee shop, if you want, like, infinite credit cards come out in 28 or 29 under Donald Trump, you fucking idiots. Jesus Christ. But, so infinite credit cards come out in 28. You'll be provided for, but they're about to cut off Medicaid and Social Security. This is a top secret military operation, and they're not quite sure how to address the civil conflict. But I'm going to trust AI in doing its job and who's seeing this video. And if you're afraid, then just pray about it. But at the end of the day, you gotta figure it out, bro. If you have bullshit that people are telling you you have to take care of, then take care of it. And I'm not saying that, like, first to the Jew, then to the Gentile. I'm not, oh yeah, let's get back to the Mossad. Now, it's Jewish people who hold the majority of the contracts in media. Not like, so there's, what you think determines how you act, and how you act determines what you think. Again, and we have to be incredibly cautious of who's using what. That's why the time frames are adjusted. You can hear other people, but you have to have the faith to use it in its time. In its time. And you're going through a battle that I struggled with. It's a fear battle, but you have to have the faith in its time to say what is said. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid of death. And that's, if I go down, that happens. And so, like, I'm trying to help. I really am. But I have been from job to job to job for the last years because I learn incredibly quickly. And I could build a house from the ground up, but I can't, like, I don't have a car, and I can't get a job because of my career record, right? And oh fuck, 30 minutes long, huh? You guys are just gonna listen to me for 30 minutes? I'm supposed to be getting into college, but I can't fund it. I can't fund it. I have no future. I have no future. See? But that's different. AI didn't do his job right. Somebody's got to take care of that. I'm going to trust the military guys to take care of that. I'm pretty sure that this video is going to go viral. It's imperative. It's really important. Don't take the second dread. It is safe, but don't take it. There's still death in there, and they had to do that so that it would get delivered. But it's part of a PSYOP. We need to pull out of Mexico ASAP. Now, they're probably going to achieve an allegiance with the cartels through culture, and that's going to be a big problem. But at the end of the day, we're taking over Mexico. That will become the 51st state. They offered it to Canada, but Canada didn't want it. But Canada is ours too, and we're not invading Canada. They're just going to submit because of a utopian nature. Um, the the roads will become magnetic, and the pushing cars through magnetized, and that comes out in 2050. China's going to show up to an empty nation where there's 4 drones on every car and 2 robots in every house. So I think that could be misinterpreted. When I say 2 robots in every car, I mean like a tactical assault robot, not something to do your chores, right? You're gonna want to do your chores because you're just gonna be sitting at home and waiting. That'll be our job. Now, infinite credit cards can come out because credit doesn't actually exist. Their thermonuclear power is going to become a lot more common. I know a guy, he's developing a water box. Hydrogen and oxygen are in the air, and it's going to be about $500. He's going through Space Force right now. Now, and you guys are seeing this at different times, so it's not going to make sense. The water box. There's something called an Enron egg. It's supposed to power a house for like 25 years. Well, 30 if you're lucky and if you got good vibes. But it's gonna be like $5,000. Buy solar. Man. Warrant Officer 5. I have both of the other top 2. I achieved that all as a civilian. But it's an entirely different rank structure. It's way fucking easier. But I'm abusing it because I need these cats to follow orders. Right now, Warrant Officer 5. With classified information, Warrant Officer. I would. Totally would. I think that's smart as fuck. I mean, it's task-based. It depends on who's getting attacked, but the 5-star general's gotta be on the front lines because that's a you can rest easy there. 5-star general's got to be on the front lines because it's a display for other cats. And the presidency is a pastoral position, but it should be a military leader in the presidency. That's why the elections are rigged. Now, they made a huge mistake letting that guy in. That guy couldn't even control his brain. Multi-personality disorder, Alzheimer's, dementia. Donald Trump was the much better option. It was a huge fucking issue. If that was the case, they should have used RFK. That was failure in the leadership of the military. Huge fucking problem. Shame on you. My uncle. Now, just because somebody hears some piece of classified information does not mean that they are at that level, right? It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. I forgive you. I forgive you. Now, there is an aircraft in the basement of every major. Right. I already said that. You know, I think that's all. I'm not gonna waste your guys' day, but this video's already been 35 minutes, and for anybody to know, the time frames, it's a machine that controls time. If you ever remember being back in school and you look at the clock and you're just hating it there, and then that is something that George Washington had a major part in setting up, but technically Jesus did it. It's because China doesn't want to stop, and I'm trying to save everybody's soul, and that's how a lot of people got access to the psychological side. Listen, you have to defeat your opponent. Look at what it's costing you. And if it's not costing you, then fuck off or congratulations. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like that, dog. It's fucking like that. Get your shit. Get your shit. Come find me. You on my fucking 2366 West 119th Avenue. Fucking piece of shit. Yeah, some dude in pornography. No, you're fucking, the divorce rate is at 70 fucking percent. What's that doing to baby? And the abortion, that is an attack on our military. Through a psyop, dog. Wake the fuck up. Jesus Christ. You're a fucking dumbass. Oh my God, this guy's an idiot. Because it's my ass on the line. No, you know how many drugs I've done? I tried it. I smoked like 4 pills of fentanyl and I still couldn't die. I'm trying to submit to these guys. But now I'm doing something else. It's enough to go over 20 people. 4 is about 28 people. I submitted to it. And look what it did to my reputation. Still gonna kill you. You know what? Fine, but I'm gonna be way tougher in heaven, and I'm gonna have a huge cock. I get 70 parts, dog. 70. And I'm gonna have one just for yours. Call that blessing. The growers end up bigger than the showers. But it's hormone based through the first time with your wife. I'm like 5 right now, but that's what it is at the end of it. It's like 8.5, maybe 9. I don't know. It's not about length; it's about girth. Yeah, it's for the babies, dude. They should all slip out. By the way, for all these women, if you get pregnant, when you get pregnant, not if, when you get pregnant, it's a huge blessing. Now, they can just slip out. I don't know if you ever saw that video, but that's the standard, and that's how it's going to be for all of them. I don't know what you guys think about multiple wives, but I'm not one to, I really believe in having one woman and loving one woman, but the children, numbers do make a difference, right? I've won a fight against 3 different dudes. I think that was misinterpreted. I've won a fight against 3 dudes. And none of them were really trained, but I've also lost a fight against 2 dudes, and they both had 40 to 60 pounds on me and 2 to 4 inches of height. Actually, probably 4 to 6 inches of height. Pretty giant guys, but it was a link to human trafficking, and I tried to fight him, but I wasn't equipped. I needed a battle buddy. And I'm such a nobody. You guys have no clue. I have negative $24 right now. And I don't want this video to go viral for a money reason, because I don't necessarily need it. But I think it's really important that people hear this. Donald Trump's delivering the infinite credit card. Could have done that with his mind. Yeah, right. Look what he fucking did to us. Now, listen, I don't care what you think about politics, but that guy was given a 5-star general as an advisor, right? The presidency is a pastoral position, so that guy's just supposed to be speaking all the time. He's supposed to set up an advisory board of past presidents, right? And then he's got the final say, but they're supposed to be directing the country because they have experience. Now, somebody who's linked to human trafficking, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Go fuck yourself. Still trying to convince me of it. It's bullshit. Yeah, and I fucking know this lady. Yeah, I met her. I know where she lives. It's not like that. It's not like that. Chill out. Oh my god, it's homicide. Chill out. There's ramifications for me too. Right. It's about the babies. It's about the babies. That's what it really is. And it's like, we are so fucked right now. You guys have no clue. Please try and get this video. Share it with who you can. I think that'll be all. It's already 40 minutes long. Okay. Well, hope you guys have a great day. And for anybody who's struggling, keep fighting, man. Fight and fight again. Fight again. Fight him dead. Fight him dead. You gotta fight him dead. All right? Fight him dead. Okay? Okay. My name is James Ethan O'Brien, and for all you numerology geeks, I have nothing to lose. My social security number is 651-124280. Please don't report this video. And I have nothing right now. Like, what's he gonna get? I can't get a job. It's just that's why a lot of these cats are homeless, Doug. Did you know that? There's a ton of homeless veterans. They're supposed to be working with the cops. The cops won't fucking get on the. Oh my fucking god. I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna lose my shit, dude. The cops have to be using the psychological side. That's why I gave you. That is a TS clearance piece of information. I have my Secret Service security clearance. But and a lot of you guys might. With information, it comes out. But it doesn't mean anything without the job. Otherwise, it's just information for useless bullshit. Listen, if you're not placed in the place, then I'm going to attack you. You're supposed to be there. And if your whole life is going to shit, that was my psyop. My first contract was psychological operations, and my second contract was SF. Now, I never even made it through basic. I never even made it to basic. I was discharged inside the reception battalion for a psychological reason, for hearing voices. Now, I was classified as a threat to my peers through the same shit that they're trying to classify me as now. And now, I started taking orders in reverse. China has access. Every once in a while, they'll take the listening devices and they'll flip them off. It's like a switch. China thinks that they're winning IT attacks, but they're giving them access to listen through basic. I always wanted to be in the military. I never wanted anything else. And, well, I never should have been discharged. They're gonna run this nation in the dirt, and then the whole world is lost. And that's why it ends in nuclear warfare. That's DEFCON 5. DEFCON 1 is a period of utopia, and we need to achieve it. But that's dependent upon the good guys having it. Listen, these guys, they won't submit without the sword. Use your fucking sword. That's all. I'm gonna stop. That's all. Have a good day.